Rise of the Dragon happens to be one of my favorite SEGA CD games of all time. It was originally released in 1990 for DOS and Macintosh, but later reworked for the SEGA CD and Amiga in 1993. It was originally developed by Dynamics, which was actually a subsidiary of Sierra, so that kind of explains the adventure feel of the game. Anyway, the SEGA CD version was handled by Game Arts. It's a graphic adventure game dealing with a cyberpunk version of Los Angeles in 2053, where a new drug has caused the mayor's daughter to die and get horribly mutated at the same time. You take on the role of William Blade Hunter. It kind of shows that it was just ever so slightly inspired by Blade Runner, but I digress. So your mission is to get to the bottom of things, find out what happened to the mayor's daughter, where she got the drug, and basically, figure out what's going on. Along the way, you have to reconcile your love life with your girlfriend. You have to find out more about the underground scene in Los Angeles, which has a lot to do with the Chinese mafia, and there's even a little bit of a spiritual side to the game. Gameplay is broken down into a variety of different sections. The main thing is your point and click, which basically you can see here is where I talk, examine my surroundings, and answer questions and basically situations very, very carefully. There are also two extremely light arcade action sequences in the game, but those are over in the blink of an eye. Time also plays an important role, as certain events play out at various times throughout the day, such as, you going on a date, or you having to meet a certain character at a specific place at a specific time. Situations can often be tackled in different ways too, which changes the outcome later on in the game. For example, if a character died, well, he won't show up later on. Exploration is also extremely important. You really have to pay attention to your surroundings, because when a puzzle pops up, they are extremely challenging because they often require a specific item, and if you haven't found whatever item is required, you're pretty much dead. And speaking of death, this game is insanely hard. You're gonna have to save often, and you're gonna have to save in different save spots. And the reason for this is everything in this game can kill you. If you, don't solve a puzzle correctly, boom, you're dead. If you don't say the right thing to the right NPC, you might not get an item, which you'll then not be able to solve a puzzle later on. Boom, that kills you. Oftentimes, you'll say the wrong thing to an NPC and they'll just walk off, making the game essentially unbeatable. And it just goes on and on like that. Interestingly, there are a couple of differences with the SEGA CD version compared to the other versions. One aspect that was actually downgraded was with the colors, because, well, the SEGA CD Genesis combo could only depict 64 colors on screen at any given time, compared to the PC version's 256. This gives the game a little bit of a green tint to it, and believe it or not, I actually really like it. I don't know why, but I find it fits the cyberpunk feel of the game perfectly. The SEGA CD version also has voice acting, which the original PC version did not, and if you listen very carefully, you might just hear the same voice actor who voice acted Leonardo from the original 1987 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There's some trivia for you. And if it's not already obvious, this was a very mature game. It was actually one of the first games I remember being rated 17 and up, and believe it or not, some scenes were actually cut from this version of the game because Sega was a little bit concerned that parents might feel that it was just too mature themed. Personally speaking, this game was awesome. Yeah, it was just a point-and-click adventure game, but the adult or mature theme was just so original. At least I found it was back when this game hit in 1993. Games really didn't deal with the subject matter that this game dared to deal with, and I absolutely loved it for that reason. You know, looking back and at it today, I'd really love to see a game like this brought back to the new generation of consoles or even on PC. I absolutely loved the graphic adventure games. This and Snatcher and Police Knots, they were really original, unique games that sort of died off when the adventure genre as a whole died off. And that's a real shame because this is a phenomenal game. And I really recommend you guys go out and try and find yourself a copy because it deserves to be played.
Do